Would you agree to be infected if you found out there was a single-celled organism showing no symptoms which got subtle in your brain and make you richer?
What?
But actually, such a parasite does exist, and its commercial effectiveness has been proven by scientific studies. Half the population on the planet is infected by it, although only 23% of the US population is affected. But why would some microorganism make people do business? And what does this have to do with cats? And most importantly, how likely are you to get infected? Or maybe you are already sick with it? Watch this video to find out. Remember when Jerry was looking for and teasing Tom for fun, instead of running away in fear? You might say it's just a cartoon, but look at this. But why does it do it? It could get hurt. It's not the mouse's fault, it's the parasite inside its head that needs the cat to eat the poor mouse to get inside the cat. Because only cats are the main home of this parasite where it can reproduce. The name of this parasite is Toxoplasma gondii, and it has an amazing talent controlling a mouse using hormones and neurotransmitters, making it seek out cats, display more preference to feline odors, run toward them and even love them. A mouse must be eaten by a cat to be its carrier. But what does this have to do with people? Cats are not capable of eating people, so why does Toxoplasma fight against the immune system and infect it? It's because Toxoplasma is a very ancient parasite, and it dates back to time when cats preferred people as dinner, and they learned to deal with the human immune system just as with the mouses. And it makes people adore and be drawn to cute furry creatures, making cat life a paradise. Let's remember the worships of cat in Egypt, crazy cat ladies with 50 cats at home, the famous cat rule forbidding them to be disturbed while they sleep. All these cat superstitions could be listed endlessly. Entire cultures worshipped cats for centuries. And if you think about it, you won't find any other animal that has this kind of attention from humankind. But what's wrong? You are already feeling disappointed that it's not a mystic entity of the fluffy beauties, but a single-celled parasite coming out with their feces. But don't rush to conclusions and don't give your pet away to the shelter just yet, because the CDC still doesn't forbid keeping cats at home, so it's not that bad. Scientists are still debating the sincerity of human love for cats. But they have definitely determined other forms of influence on human behavior due to toxoplasmosis. Reduce fear, aggression, slowed reactions, drive for recklessness while driving, and other dangerous activities with an overestimation of their abilities. In addition, with excessive alcohol consumption and even the emergence of suicidal thoughts. And all this is quite frightening. Of course, if we forget what human characteristics have brought this world to the progress, comfort and safety that we have now. Unfortunately, it's not peaceful activities like fishing or romantic flower picking in the field, but rather sometimes reckless experiments, the desire to act without self-preservation. Which mentally healthy creature will climb on a barrel of gasoline to fly into space? Or just go harness the power of fire, which is the most frightening phenomena for all animals. One of such evidence was obtained by Stephanie Johnson, who conducted a sensational study of 1,495 people and found that those who had toxoplasmosis were 1.7 times more likely to think about business and 1.8 times more likely to actually open Unexpectedly, in our culture, even before the research, there were confirmations of these conclusions. Think of movies about villains with cats in their arms, who are leaders, who build successful empires, however evil. Remember cats with fairy tale witches who were the strongest opponents in stories? People subconsciously felt this connection, although they did not know the true cause. So, what's the conclusion? Are most of the geniuses and billionaires infected with toxoplasmosis? Actually, yes and no at the same time. As I mentioned before, toxoplasmosis is a very ancient parasite and over thousands of years of affecting human behavior. It has inevitably influenced the entire human genome. The bravest individuals, even if affected with toxoplasmosis, were more enterprising and courageous than their healthy peers, and those who had enough sense not to be eaten by a tiger eventually adapted better, were more successful, and therefore got better partners for reproduction. And the behavior patterns that passed into genes were passed on to subsequent generations, and so on from generation to generation. And now, even being healthy, you have most of the advantages given by this parasite. And if we take into account the fact that in addition to toxoplasmosis, there were thousands of similar parasites, and look at the human genome, where it consists half of genes of viruses, bacteria and other simple organisms, it becomes clear that by killing all pathogens using absolute hygiene, we will literally stop the process of evolution and start the process of degradation, leading humanity to its demise. So, what's the conclusion? Is it worth being infected with toxoplasmosis to get a double motivation advantage? Of course not, because it is possible that this parasite will not make you richer, but will lead you in the stomach of the tiger. So, did Jerry have toxoplasmosis? What about Batman? Oh no, my world will not be the same.